What's up, guys, and welcome back to my garage. If you're enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we discovered our first ever barn find, and unfortunately it wasn't anything too crazy, so we just sort of ended up turning right around and selling it off for some profit. But then we found an El Camino just over here across the street for $17,500, and we turned that thing around for about $19,000. So nearly $20,000 in the back pocket. The first thing we're going to do today is head on over here once again, and we'll see if we can find something as cool as that that El Camino. Okay, only 2 cars? 3 cars. There it is. All right, we've got a drop-top lad over here. I believe this is a Bart or a Chad. This is the Bart. 17,500 again. Okay, and then we also have a Hunter Forest Green Wolf with bright blue interior. That is a very strange combination. 4-star rust, so it would need a little bit of rust repair. Did we just get kicked out? Well, it's 23,000 anyways, so it's not like we could afford it. Yeah, we actually just got kicked out. So let's try again tomorrow. 6 a.m. You think they're open at... Is that snow? It's actually going to snow now. Incredible. Okay, let's sleep one mo again, as they say. 10 a.m. Yeah, that is absolutely snow. First, before we make our way back out to the dealership, I'm going to come in here and grab a cornflake and a chip and probably 2 bottles of water. I think that should get us by just fine. Cornflakes, chips, 2 waters. Good enough. Kind of a similar collection over here. It's snowing inside the building. Good. Good. I'm glad that that's a thing. We have another wolf here. This is a drop top. 26,000. Okay, those might be a little too pricey for us yet. We've got a Chad over here for 19. We could afford that. We could afford that. However, I don't know how much money we'd be able to make on it. It does have a little bit of rust that could use repaired. Overall condition is 3 stars. I see the air filter, I think just the cover could use replaced. This could be a pretty quick flip for us. I'll be honest, it's all painted the same color. It's ready to be purchased and then resold again. Might have a flat in the rear. 10,500 for that. It's got white leather interior that's kind of dusted. A little bit of rust there on the hood. I don't think I've ever seen that grill before. That looks kind of fancy. Yeah, you know what? I think that settles it. Let's go ahead and purchase this Chad over here. Kind of a cool pistachio green color. We now only have $164 to our name. But hopefully we'll have just enough money to fix this thing up and make a little bit of profit off of it. It looks like maybe the hood is the only thing that's rusty, because I didn't see any rust anywhere else. Oh, never mind. We've got the rear bumper back there. Little rusty. Does she rip, though? Do she rip, boys? We're going to find out. It will turn over. It didn't necessarily want to, but it did turn over. Let's just... I was just about to say, let's very slowly and cautiously drive this over to the garage, but I've already smashed our passenger side window. At least, I hope it's just the passenger side window. It kind of looks like that's all that happened. Oh, the door's a little mangled now, too. Did we already decreased the value of this thing. You think a couple taps with the hammer might just pull that thing right back out. Okay, that doesn't look near as bad now. We've also got to pull the door back out just slightly, and then I think the fender as well. Got one more hammer mark right here. So wherever there's the hammer icon that appears, that's the area that you could actually repair. So let's have a look-see. And we'll find out if that did help us out. It did. Brought it back up to 18,000. So, not as bad, but I'll admit it still doesn't look that great. So next order of business, let's grab our ranch from over here. We're gonna have to open up this door again and pop off this door card. Should just be 2 bolts right here, sort of underneath that armrest portion. And then the window regulator, I'm guessing that includes glass. So we just need to unbolt that. There we be. So that probably not going to work. Or maybe we can buy the glass and try to slide it back in. Or wait, is like the smoker? Yeah, the smoker glass is out as well. I'm pretty sure it has it on this side. Definitely. Okay, so we need the little triangle bit of glass right there, and then we need the passenger side door glass as well. I might just buy that from here, honestly. 65 bones for the new window glass, and then should be window small front right. 65 bones for that as well. So hopefully the window regulator is still in working order. Wow, it is really difficult to see that other piece of glass. Did it even get delivered? Okay, you just hang out there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's extremely difficult to see. That just has to get popped into there. How's the value now? Almost up to 18.5. Let's get that door open back up. Do we need to... Let's try installing these two together first. Negative. Okay, so window regulator, you're going back in. Let me get my wrench. Stay open. Door. Just hang out for me, okay? Just a few more minutes. I'm also gonna grab our hammer again and see if we can bang out this door any better. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Oh, wait. We can bang this out. That helps, I think. I'm not too sure that the window glass should stay behind, though, when the door opens. Oh, there's a bolt. Of course. Of course there would be. Okay, now if we close it and open it back up, the glass actually follows the door. Okay, door, just hang on. Just hang on for me. We need to slide this in there real quick like. Stop moving. Door, you're going to cause problems, okay? This glass is going to break again, and I am going to be very, very sad. Please, just hang out. Actually, maybe we want to do this with the door closed. Let's gently set this down over here in the corner. Close the door. Let's put this in, and then we'll climb around from the other side just so we can tighten those 2 bolts. It's quite the process, this. Oh my god, why is it not working? Please! Please don't do that! Okay. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine, you guys. It's fine. Why are you freaking out? You're freaking me out. Now then, let's get this door shut, and let's check in and see. It's back up to $19.1 thousand. I've already forgot what we paid for the thing, but I think that's right around what we would have paid, hopefully. That's as good as it's gonna get. I don't really care to repair that any more than we already have. However, next thing on the agenda is this rust repair. Didn't mean to do that. Well, it fixed the rust on the underside, I guess. What I actually meant to do was open the hood so we could fix it from the underside. I'm not so sure that we actually got all the rust, though. So, looks like there should be 2 bolts right here that hold this chrome bumper on. So we'll take that off. There we go. Yep. We're just missing a tiny little portion of it right there. Okay, let's leave that chrome bumper off then while we respray. I think that'll just make it a little bit easier. Let's get this color code. 88C39C. 88C39C. Yeah, that looks right. All right, perfect. We'll get the 1 spray can. And I've been saving my leftover spray cans that aren't empties over here on this shelf. That way, if we ever get, you know, some parts from a junkyard or something that we just repair the rust on, we could respray them all the same color. Because since they're not on the car anymore, they don't need to, like, match the other panels. And we could bring those down to the pawn shop and hopefully make a decent amount of money. Let's look now. 21,000. There it is. The rust state is now 5 stars, so that's looking fantastic. we have $13 left at our disposal. Yeah, kind of screwed myself over with smashing the glass out, but it be like that sometimes. You know what? It really do be like that. So 2 more bolts, get that bumper refastened, and that is pretty much all we can do for this thing. So, or wait. Color condition could be a little bit better maybe, because we do still have that one spot there on the hood. Or the bonnet, depending on where you're from. You might call it something completely different. $22,100. I'm all for that. I am all for that. Let's go ahead and sell this thing off. We now have $22,000 that we'll be able to use at the dealership for our next car. This is how it works, you guys. Slowly but surely, we'll be making that money. So then, back over to the dealership, or whatever this place actually is. We're going to see what else we could potentially scoop up today. We've got another drop top wolf. I always hesitate to walk in when there's just 2 cars, because I know that third one's still trying to load in. We've got another drop top wolf over here. 27! We still can't afford that. I wonder if the drop top is more expensive than the coupe hardtop. 20,000. 4-star rust. It could be a quick rust flip again for us. It does have quite a bit more rust. I don't really mind the green color. Anything in the engine bay? Fuel line. 1 bolt right there. Fuel line comes out. We could get that changed around pretty quickly. Turbo diesel. Right? Isn't it the 3-liter diesel inline 6 with a turbski? Love it. Windshield wiper. It just has one big wiper that cleans the entire thing. Okay. Never seen that before. So I guess this is supposed to be based off of a Mercedes, if I remember correctly. It really doesn't look bad, you guys. For 20,000 bones, I think we could make even more money with this. 141,000 kilometers on it. I have no idea what that is in terms of miles, but we'll scoop it up. This thing's actually not bad. I really appreciate the wheels that are on it. Just a standard inline 4. Should be a 1.8 4-cylinder. 300,000 kilometers. I was thinking 100,000 was bad. All right, let's close up this trunk. Hopefully this thing starts as well. We've got a little bit of pink there on the door sill. Look at that steering wheel. That's a freshie. Turn it all the way to the left so we can actually turn it on. There we are. All right. Ooh, that sounds pretty nice. Okay, I'm not going to turn this corner as sharp as I did in the Chad. It kind of looks like it's sitting funny. I'm not sure if that's just because I left the wheel turned, but it looks lower back here. So I'm guessing there's probably a blown strut or something back there that we could maybe change out pretty easy as well. But let's start on our rust repair. Up here on the passenger side fender. Not as easy when it's these big, splotchy sections. Takes quite a bit more time. There we go. That's all cleaned up. Now we have a little bit. I was going to say on part of the door, but it's not part of the door. It's actually technically part of the roof, I guess, isn't it? Because the door doesn't actually have a connected B-pillar. But that cleaned up pretty nicely. Let's drop that so we can actually open the trunk. Or the boot. Some of you might say boot. We've got a little bit of rust right there to clean up. That looks pretty good. And then I think just the pink door sill, but that should be... Oh no, never mind. We've got a little bit more rust yet on the front bumper. Oh my good God. Okay, I have totally torched the paint somehow. Not sure why that just happened, but hopefully we can fix that fairly easily. And then just a little bit here on the A-pillar. Let's check the overall rust condition now. 4 stars. So there is still rust somewhere. But where? Let's take a peek on the inside of the doors maybe. Ooh, right here. Right here, there's the tiniest spot. But that could be... Gotta make sure I drop that again. That could be the last little bit of rust that we have. Not an easy spot to get to either, so very well could be the case. Are we good on the rust now? Still 4 stars. Okay, there's gotta be more somewhere else then. Yeah, that's gotta be rust, but I just can't get to it. Like, I just don't have the right angle or something. It's right underneath that weather stripping right there, but I don't think I can remove that unless I need to just do that with my bare hands. Nah. Not happening. Okay, so we basically just got to get lucky then. I think I got it. I think I just got it. Still 4 stars, though. So that means there's rust elsewhere.
One eternity later.
If I don't just give up now, you guys, I'll just be chasing this rust all day long. So let's figure out this color code, 75B25F. That should be correct. Looks close enough. Pistachio green, gotta love it. Just respray all the areas that we ground down, trying to fix that rust. And who knows, maybe after we get this entire thing resprayed, it'll just tell us that all the rust is actually gone and we did a good job. Sometimes that can happen. I think the only other thing that needs resprayed is this very, very pink door sill, and that ought to do it. Let's see now. Total price 26,000, you guys. 26,000, and we've barely got any money into this. Now that we're in the money, so to speak, I decided I'd lift this thing up on the hoist so we can inspect the underside. As I mentioned before, it does seem like it was kind of sagging in the rear a little bit, but it might just be because this tire's junk. I mean, it looked a little flat when it was sitting on the ground. We also have some bad brake lines up in there. Could probably do with a new transmission, if I had to guess. That thing looks pretty crusty, but probably too expensive for us at the moment. Up here at the front, we just have a couple of different suspension components that could be replaced, and then a super rusty oil pan. Some other stuff in the engine bay, the fuel line, as I mentioned. But we only have $1,500, so we do have to be kind of selective with what we're deciding to replace. Maybe, hang on, is the block pretty gross? Front cover, definitely gross. The cylinder head as well. I wonder how expensive those are. It's been a little difficult to find these things since everything in this list is like grayed out for some reason, almost as if we're not actually able to purchase any of it yet. And of course, there it is, clear down at the bottom of the page. Exhaust manifold for the turbo. That's the one we need. 126 bones for that. And then I thought that I passed the cylinder head right here. I'm really hoping that the engine upgrades are the way to go here. Hopefully we get the most bang for our buck doing it this way. But there are some other things that we could probably replace as well, some cheaper things. But first, oh, I forgot the timing cover too. Maybe I'll grab that as well, because we are going to be disassembling a good majority of this engine. Only 56 bones for that, and then let's also grab a new fuel line for 16. Let's actually pop that off first, just so we can sort of get that out of the way. Put it up on the counter for safekeeping, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove the intake manifold since it kind of comes up and over that valve cover. One more, and that ought to do it. We can just lift the whole thing off. Again, shelf counter thing for safekeeping. And now, 2 bolts over here. Should be 3 if I remember right. On this side, valve cover comes off. And unsurprisingly, after removing that, we're just revealing more work that we need to do. A timing chain and a camshaft gear. So let's go ahead and start disassembling the timing components. We'll start with that fan. Doesn't even matter if it's up on the counter or not. Then crankshaft pulley should just pop off. Nicely done. We've got one more bolt right there in the middle for that tensioner. Just put that on the ground as well. The alternator is kind of gross looking, but it doesn't need to be removed, and neither does the water pump. We've got to kind of clip our face through that water pump though, so we can get these lower timing cover bolts. And should be one more up at the top, or is that it? I think just this one. There we go. And there's our crankshaft pulley as well. What's this thing attached to the timing cover? Is that power steering? Might be. Whatever it is, it needs to come off. It is in good condition, but the piece that it's connected to is definitely not. So we can add this one to our little scrap pile that we've got going, and we can get this remated to, again, what I'm assuming is the power steering pump. Oh, maybe not. We've got to do it in the reverse order. Next up then, let's go ahead and unbolt the turbo to the exhaust manifold. I think, oh, okay, that probably wasn't the smartest move. Let's just move that over to the side. But I think we should be able to get away with removing the exhaust manifold with the cylinder head. What I don't think will follow are these fuel lines. So let's unscrew all of these. I've never even worked on this engine before, so I'm not 100% sure. Wait a minute. Only 6 bolts? It's too easy. It's too... Okay, we've got a dusted piston, and yeah, we're probably going to need a new head gasket. This has definitely turned into a much bigger job than it was ever meant to be. But again, I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to make a decent amount of money on this whole thing. Air filter for turbo. So it used to be red. Ours is currently gray, so I'm guessing that that's probably bad. We are, as we just learned, going to need a new piston, so we'll grab a new one of those. Oh yeah, dude. Check out the color difference here. We were definitely getting robbed of some serious horse puppies. Just one bolt there for that. We can get these swapped out super quick, and we'll tighten that up. Perfect. Alrighty. Now we're going to need a new timing chain and a new camshaft sprocket. 48 bucks for that guy. This is the one that's right up here, all rusty and crusty. And actually, you know what? I think we still need to pop off the one on the crankshaft as well. Wait, that's not the right tool for the job. Got to get the pry tool for this. And that's just to make it so we can actually remove the timing chain. We basically just have to pop that off of there, and then we can come in here with our hand, remove the original, and refit the new one. Next up, gotta get that camshaft sprocket realigned. Looks pretty good to me. Oh, the oil pan, dude. I kind of forgot about that, not gonna lie. One thing at a time, though. One thing at a time. Next up, we're still on loosening mode. We need to remove all these camshaft caps so we can pull out the camshaft. Since it's still in decent working order, we can actually just put this in our brand spanking new cylinder head. Well, I got all the injectors and glow plugs loosened, but I can't seem to actually get them out of the cylinder head. So I'm probably doing something wrong, but just because I don't want to spend any more time than I already have on this, I'm going to buy brand spanking new ones. So 6 glow plugs and 6 injectors. Alrighty, let's rebuild us a head, shall we? Gonna take quite a few bolts to get there, but we got this. We got this. Now we can drop the oil pan, and hopefully we don't find anything else that we weren't expecting up underneath here. Just that one piston. The piston rod cap is totally fine. It's just the piston is pretty well damaged. So we'll put that in our scrap pile. Or wait, we could just be selling this stuff immediately. Because it's not a job vehicle. We don't have to save all the damaged parts until the very end. We could, and we probably should, be selling those off. Maybe then we'll have a little bit more money to work with. There we go. New piston. Pops right in. Oh, we're probably going to need to go buy a new oil pan. So let's get rid of that thing, and we'll see how much a new one of those costs. 54 bones. 54 Buckaroonies. I might actually leave this off for a moment just so we can kind of inspect the transmission. We do only have $300 left, so I'm not really sure that there's much else we can do here. We'll probably have to leave the transmission. It looks like the flywheel is pretty badly damaged also. It's fine. Who needs them? All right, after selling off all of our damaged parts, we're back up to 370 buckaroonies. Now, though, we're going to need our head gaskets. We have really been putting in the elbow grease for this vehicle. I'll tell you what. Grab our wrench. Let's secure the cylinder head to the 3-liter diesel engine block. And then I think we should be able to remount the glow plug relay at this point. Yeah, see, I was trying to do it off the car and it wasn't having it. Just did not want to bolt up right. Now, for these fuel lines, I think we're probably ready to toss these back on. But yeah, dude, we've been putting in some serious elbow grease to this thing, so we better make an absolute killing on this unit when we turn around to sell it. Let's grab our lower cover so we can get that resituated. 1 bolt up there top right. Should be 1 down here and then 3 along the side. Again, we do have to kind of clip our face through that water pump pulley. But that's looking pretty solid. Now we can get our crankshaft pulley resituated as well. 1 single bolt or nut holding that thing on. Tensioners probably after we resecure. Whoops, got to drop the wrench for this. After we resecure the SERP belt. Now we can get this tossed back in there. Add some tension to that serpentine belt system. All right, everything is going back together very, very smoothly. Knock on wood so far, right? Got 1 bolt. See if I can get that a little bit easier. 1 bolt right there on the clutch fan or the radiator fan, whatever you want to really call that. It's not, I mean, it is a radiator fan, but aren't they called clutch fans if they're not mounted to the radiator? Otherwise, it would be like a E fan. But the valve cover is back on. Next step, we've just got to rebolt up the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold, complete with the turb ski. And that might actually do it for this vehicle. I'm probably forgetting some things, but we'll iron that out here in a few minutes. Just 2 bolts. Just 2 more bolts, and we do still have to fill it with fluids and everything that we would have lost, you know, disassembling the engine. But I'm really curious to see. We're only getting $28,000 for it at the moment, but that's probably because it doesn't technically run, right? We'll head across the street into the gas station and grab some food while we're here. Maybe 4 of those and 2 waters. And then we're gonna need some engine Earl. I don't remember how much it takes from empty to full. And on that engine specifically, I have no idea. So I'm just gonna grab 3 of them. We'll put those 3 in our handy dandy backpack. And we'll, of course, eat our food before we go. Okay, I bought too much. We'll put that in the bag too. This is bottle number 2 already, but it looked like the first one got us up to around 1/4 of the oil capacity we actually need. Also, this is 5W40 going into a diesel engine right now. That's not gonna end well. Alrighty, that's the last of the Earl then. Let's get the oil fill cap put back on and we'll check the oil level. Perfect. Absolutely bang on how we need it to be. And then I know we didn't remove the water pump, but I just kind of had a feeling that we were going to be low on coolant, and we are. But do we even have? We don't. We don't have a coolant bottle left over, so we'll head back across the street, grab 1 mo of them, and then, like I've been saying, hopefully that's all she wrote. Okay, believe it or not, we were actually so low on coolant that we had to run back across the street again just to pick up a 2nd bottle. But this should actually be it now. Survey says $28,000. Okay, what else could we do, dude? What else could we do to bring that value up? We only have 267 bones. We don't have anything else left over that we could, like, dispose of or sell. We could take on a customer job, I guess, really quick, just to try to get a little bit more money out of it, or we could just try to turn around and sell it as is. Also half tempted to try to replace this brake line, because I don't think we've done that yet. But if we do end up going through with this, we'll likely have to top up the brake fluid as well, which, again, we'd have to go across the street just to grab. I'm fairly certain that they have that over there at the gas station. But let's lift it up into the air. It should just be the one bolt in the engine bay. And then I'm assuming we just disconnect it from here and leave those brake lines attached to the caliper. The rest should fall out. Maybe not. There might be another bolt fastening it along somewhere. Or we need to use the pry tool. Okay, I have absolutely no idea what this is going to unfasten, but I'm going to try it. It's the carpet. Good. Good. I'm glad that we just did that. Let's just try to get that put back up in there. So the pry tool, not the tool for the job. Definitely not. We've got to be missing another bolt somewhere then.
Many minutes later.
Yeah, on second thought, I give up. I'm over it. I'm done trying to replace one stupid brake line. I also kind of lost this one, so had to buy one anyways. Might as well get the second, since the other side you can see right here, very, very dusted. Only getting $1 back for that one. We've just got this one bolt left to tighten there in the engine bay. Didn't seem to lose any brake fluid whatsoever, so that's good. But I want to put it back up in the air, because while we were under there, I noticed that there's still a decent amount of pink on the driver's side rocker panel. So I'm gonna leave it up right about there, and we'll just try to touch that up from down under. Oh my god, I found the other rust. I found the other rust. Okay, let's get the flapper disc right here. And we just need to grind this away as best we can. Thankfully, we do have the paint, so we can just touch it up immediately after. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be all the rust that was left. Hopefully, man. We'll be able to make quite a bit more money. Oh, and of course, we just ran out of paint. Time to get another can. I really hope that was it, you guys. I really, really hope that was it. Rust state still after all that, 4 stars. Should we try to remove the side skirts? Can we even do that? I don't know what's holding those things on. If it's nothing, apparently. There's more. There's more. Okay, note to self. Remove the body kit. Okay, not the floor again. Please, anything but the floor. This has to be the most resilient rust I have ever seen. I've tried everything under the sun using the flapper disc to try to remove it from down underneath, and it just ain't happening. So what I'm gonna try instead is cutting the panel off. Hopefully those were the right lines, and I didn't just like cut out the floorboard. I think I might have, though. What if I cut right here? Does the whole thing come off now? Yeah, that was dumb. That was big dumb. So we're gonna patch that up really quickly, and then under here, got that one and this one. I think we're gonna have to call it quits on the rust as well. You can see I ran the entire rocker panel with the flapper disc, and still just wasn't able to hit the spots where the rust actually is. So let's lower it back to the ground. If I can just move my welder out the way, we'll lower it back down to the ground, and we'll see what we're finally gonna be left with after I respray it and get the side skirts refitted. Well, she's definitely still got her fair share of mechanical issues. Could also use a little bit of reupholstery work. And unfortunately, the rust issue still isn't solved. But we're going to be able to turn this thing around for $28,000. Almost 29. If we were able to clean up that rust just a little bit more, I truthfully think we probably would have gotten there. But it's time to say sayonara to our, what I would consider to be, honestly, our first real project car. Because the El Camino was just a super quick rust repair. But let's sell it off. There we are. Now we're sitting at nearly 29,000 buckaroonies. So hopefully in the next episode, we'll continue to sort of work our way up to bigger, better, badder vehicles. But for right now, I think that's where we're going to wind things down at for today. So once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.